It is midwinter now in North Carolina, and although we haven't seen snow down here in the Piedmont, there has been snow in the Blue Ridge Mountains. The cardinals are out and the trees are bare, and we have had several nights where it's gotten way down below freezing. We've celebrated a variety of different holidays across this midwinter as we are an interfaith family. And for those, we've made some of what I think of as the jewels of midwinter, which are candied and preserved fruits. Traditionally, fruit was shared at this time of year not just for the benefits of it in terms of antioxidants and vitamins that are hard to come by during winter, but also as a way of sharing abundant harvests in the hopes of drawing abundant harvests again for the next year. I'm not sharing all of the different preserved and candied fruit recipes that I make at this time of year because that would be a very long video, but I am sharing two of my favorites, which are dates that have been roasted in salt and honey and candied kumquats, both of which are very easy and very delicious, although the dates are intensely sweet. To make the honey roasted dates, first you have to slit each and every single dried date open and remove the pit. We did this while doing D&D with our Munchkin, who is the dungeon master for our campaign, so you can probably hear that going on in the background. Our cats, of course, were incredibly distracting through this entire process, as cats are distracting through most processes. We did decorate our house a little bit for the midwinter with more of the cast iron statues that I like from Grandin Road. You can see our unboxing videos of the ones that we got for All Hallowtide at the link above. And then it was back in to play with the cats and continue making the preserved fruits. Yes, I did wash my hands. Each date is then stuffed with at least one almond where the pit was. You can go up to 2 almonds if need be, if you had a really large date that has a really big empty spot inside, but essentially stuff each one with an almond. I used to make up to 2 pounds of these at a time, and if you have received our recipes for the dark period of the year booklet as one of our Patreons, the recipe that I shared in that booklet is actually for 2 pounds of this, but you don't have to make 2 pounds. I then scatter the entire dish of dates with salt. I used a smoked salt because I think that the smokiness helps cut through the intense sweetness, but you can use any salt you like, including herb salts or cypress salt or whatever you'd like to have flavor your dates. Then I cover the dates with honey. I'm using a really high quality honey from the local farmers market that we obtained in fall that was made entirely from the field of purple asters. But again, you can use whatever honey you like. Just be aware that the dates will pick up the flavors of the honey that you use. The dates then roast in a 325 degree Fahrenheit oven for 15 minutes. being flipped in the honey halfway through. Once they're done, they should be incredibly fragrant and very sticky. They are kept preserved in honey until serving, when you can remove them from the honey and set them out in their candied form. I do recommend saving the honey and using it for something else, because the honey is now imparted with the flavors from the almonds, the dates, and the salt, and is just incredibly flavorful on its own. To make the candied kumquats, first you slice the kumquats into rough chunks. Then dissolve equal parts sugar and water to make a simple syrup. I used 1 cup of sugar and 1 cup of water for 1 pint of kumquats. Once the sugar is all dissolved, add the kumquats and let those simmer away for about 5 minutes, making sure that they all get covered and are tucked down into the liquid. Then you're going to cover the kumquats and let them steep in that mixture off the heat for 10 minutes before straining out all of the kumquats into a heat-proof vessel. I just did this with a slotted spoon. You do want to retain all the liquid that they were steeping in, as we're going to thicken that into a syrup and pour it back onto the kumquats. Reduce the sugar syrup over low heat until it is thick enough that it coats your spoon or spatula. Then pour the reduced sugar syrup over the kumquats, making sure that they all get evenly coated in it. This process works for other candied citrus. I just happen to adore kumquats at this season because they are incredibly tart. Once they're all evenly coated, you can just leave these in the sugar syrup until you're ready to eat them. I love them in cocktails, or scattered on top of a savory meat dish in place of cranberry sauce. They're really very versatile.
Thanks. I promise you do not want the candied kumquats. I know you think you want candied kumquats, but I do not think that you actually do.
So here are some of the jewels of Midwinter. If you do make these recipes, be sure to let me know how they turned out, and if you like them, and if you'll be making them again next year. Happy Midwinter.